I am the smartest, I am the best, I know all the answers, you better listen to me and do what I tell you. This is sort of I'm parodying it, nobody actually behaves like this, but at the extreme end, when people behave like that, then the people they are working with become disengaged. They no longer want to contribute. They no longer want to come forward and give their best. At the other extreme, which is the ideal situation, are people who know no less than the guy who's trying to put up his hand and show how smart and clever he is. But he has the wisdom to know that this is too complex a world for anybody to have all the answers. So he's not so fussed about trying to show that I know all the answers, but he's focusing more on posing the right questions, on listening, on respecting the views of others, then taking a decision. It's not about abdicating decision making, but listening, focusing on the questions, posing the right questions, and then co-creating the answers. And where the leader actually gets genuine joy and doesn't feel threatened if 1,000 flowers bloom. So this is the concept of the multiplier. What can learning and development do to create multipliers? The third, which really is all about innovation. We believe that tomorrow's company actually will be based on innovation and ever-increasing productivity of resources. You cannot have innovation unless you experiment and you take risk. People will not experiment or take risk if there is a culture of fear in the organization. So how do we create leaders who know how to manage fear and, more important or equally important, leverage failure? How do you learn from failure to create success? So the three behaviors I've talked about till now: one, ability to use the whole mind in any situation; number two, to be a multiplier of engagement, passion, involvement; number three, manage fear and leverage failure. The fourth one is mindfulness. Mr. Dubey, what is mindfulness? Please go and meditate in a cave in the Himalayas. Don't waste our time with mindfulness. Okay, mindfulness is really about addressing the fact that we are being killed with over-information and over-stimulation. A typical executive would receive 300 to 400 emails. He's expected to be active on Twitter, Facebook. In Mahindra & Mahindra, we have meetings and meetings. And then there are friends who send articles from HBR, from Sloan Review, and expect immediate feedback. Result is we are getting totally stretched all the time, and we are losing our ability to go deep into any situation. We are losing our ability to get into the flow. We are losing our ability to be in the here and now. And what that means is that we are losing the ability to be open to the possibilities that exist in the moment. Because we are not present, because we are not mindful. We don't even know what possibilities exist because we are trapped in this constant stream of distraction and over-information, either trapped in the past or dreaming about the future. And we are losing the ability to be here and now. What can learning and development do to enable people to be mindful? That's the fourth behavior. And the last behavior, which I think is actually the most important for any organization and for a leader to create a truly outperforming organization that sustains, is the ability to create trust. And how do you create trust? I guess there must be many explanations. Our view is that trust, you certainly need some technical competency. You do need that. And we assume that people don't make it up the ladder unless they have some kind of technical competency. But even more important, especially at the top, is to be authentic. Does the leader say what he thinks, and does he do what he says? So is his thinking, saying, and doing aligned again and again and again? It's actually about speaking the truth. It's about walking the talk. It's about removing the mask. What does learning and development have to offer to address this? So I just want to close by saying that in the new normal, at least in Mahindra, we believe that there are 5 behaviors that leaders need to display to create organizations that are going to outperform on a sustained basis. And these 5 are ones which we are really struggling from the L&D point of view to create. And the 5 are using the whole mind, creating multipliers, managing fear and leveraging failure, mindfulness, and trust through authenticity. And I just want to leave with you the question, what can the L&D profession, the L&D body of knowledge, the L&D fraternity do to create these 5 behaviors? Thank you very much. Good luck. I hope you have a great time. And my apologies, I came late. And I need to tell you why I came late. It's not that I'm an important person, but it just so happens that today, and I had told Kamal, and so I humbly and respectfully apologize. It's very embarrassing for somebody to walk up and all of you are seated there. I apologize. I hope you'll forgive me for being late. And good luck, God bless, despite Trump, or maybe because of him. Hope the world is a better place. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have 10 minutes for questions. As you would have seen, the panel has really possibly stirred up all your thinking and thrown the entire conference upside down, which is the right thing to do. Because there's no point in really having what we call a one-size-fits-all scenario. We need to get everybody, and I want to thank you, Rajiv, for giving that whole mind, the right brain as well as the left brain. So the audience can now ask questions to any one of the panel members, and we'll take it forward. Yes, the hands are up. Please get the mic to the people.
Good morning to the panel members and the delegates. I'm Venkat Ramana from Hyderabad, an academician. I first of all thank Mr. Dhananjay for giving me the wonderful this thing, because of him, I'm here. Yesterday morning I decided and just came at 7:30 in the morning. My question is to Mr. Prabir Jha. You told that any learning has to influence people. And the first act is listening. I think the first few seconds, is the speaker able to make people listen? Because this is the skill which is missing in our youngsters today in the colleges. Because I'm a communication skills expert. I've been running an organization called HIMS, Hyderabad.
What is your question?
Question is about listening. The influence starts from listening.
Okay.
That's the particular one, right? How to bring that happening in the present day?
So I first agree with you that you've got to listen, but to get to be a good listener, even the module, the tutor has to be a good listener, right? So I think it's a two-way street. But if you connect it with influence, I just have one more view that I want to share. See, people get influenced for their reasons. Listening is only one dimension. If we can recognize that people choose to get influenced, some get influenced by active listening, some may get influenced only when there is hard data, the point that Rajiv was mentioning, logic, then I am influenced. Some get influenced by humor, some by just emotional empathy. So the act of influence actually has different ways of panning out. Listening is one fundamental bedrock. So no disagreement, but there are different ways in which you influence different kinds of people.
There's a question there. Yeah.
Can I? Hi, sir. My name is Asif. I'm from PwC Calcutta. And I just wanted to briefly tell, I am blind. I lost my eyesight. But in our company, we have about 60 hours mandate. I'm from PwC. But the problem is that all those e-learning modules, it is not screen reader friendly. When I say I work with the help of a technology which is installed on my laptop and cell phone, And so all these designs are so poorly designed that I literally struggle. So my question to all of you, how do you ensure that whatever the course curriculum or whatever the design that we make or whatever the vendor we hire, how do we ensure that we cater to even the marginalist employee, like people who cannot see, or maybe some of them have difficulties in other ways to overcome and meet our compliance?
User experience design.
So, Asif bhai, hello. I agree we have to, and I'll tell you why. Because there is now enough knowledge that we gain when we are able to harness the power of diversity. So it is not to do any favor to those who are differently able, but it is in our own selfish interest that we must design the possibility that we include as many diverse talents and points of view in any situation. So I don't know what the technology is, but I think it's about time that in India we became sensitive and alive to the huge benefits that society and organizations will get if we enable people who are differently able to participate. So that's my response. I don't, there must be technology which does this, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Asif uses technology all the time, but just we need to be sensitive.
Just to add to Asif, in the design thinking session, we possibly will address that. It's all about user experience design, taking all categories of users. And Prabir mentioned, each person has got his or her own learning style. So the entire user experience design is how it is very participant-centric rather than faculty-centric, and therefore courseware designing to each one. We've got time for just one question, possibly. Yeah.
To your first question on listening, right? I just want to put this point very distinct. It should not be because it is fashionable that we keep talking about listening. It is because we deeply respect the other person. That's why we listen. Very often I find this piece of listening being said very often. Almost we make it, it's almost like being good. Right? But listening, like Prabir said, should have a purpose. I believe that it's a combination of the quality of listening and your power of articulation by which you are able to influence and create value to society. So we don't have to go to either extremes. And both we need to do because we believe we respect. It is not done because we want to present ourselves in a particular way.
There's a question at the back. Yeah.
Good morning to all the esteemed panelists and one and all present here. My name is Professor Chandpreet Kaur, and I'm from Guru Nanak Institute of Management Studies. Sir, I'm a certified trainer under ISTD, and I had got certified some 5-6 years back, and I've been teaching in the profession of HR, various subjects. I also teach training and development as a subject. So my question is, many companies, when I talk to my part-time students, working students, they always say in their companies, still training is seen as a cost center. They are not able to justify to the management the investment part or the way it's going to prove as a profit center in the near future. So when the companies are still at this stage, and when we look at 5 A's coming into the picture, how will the companies, or how can we as HR professionals justify the ROI with the 5 A's coming into the picture, return on investment?
Two things. This is where we need to be careful with what we listen and what our perspectives are. My experience over 32 years, I worked for 4 companies. I haven't seen a single company I worked seeing training as a cost center. Yeah, because this is what happens when you are young and you are at a certain place in an organization. You misread discussions which are happening with seniors, where you are being driven and asked to really create value, and you end up listening or hearing it, not listening, but hearing it in a particular way. So I want to put it, I'm not arguing that every company invests. That's not my statement, but I certainly believe the people who are having a vision to take their companies somewhere in their lives, top 500 companies, 1,000 companies, definitely invest in learning, right? So that's my experience.